Morning. This is Malcolm. Uh, since TerraTech got such an amazing response um, last time I played, I'm just gonna play it again. The response was on YouTube. Twitch had sort of an average response, but over the weekend, um, the YouTube version got something like 25 views, which is like more than any other video I've recorded so far. So we'll just play to the audience today and see what happens. Um, I saved the campaign progress from last time, so I'll just start from there. Okay, so I've got, ooh, that's a pretty good progress if I remember correctly. Yeah, we've got a nice setup. We got 3 batteries, shield, and repair bubble on the tech, as well as an automated turret to guard the training station. Um, and what I might do is start building a processing base um, for harvesting stuff. And actually, let me see what my current mission log is empty, but let me actually look. Okay, so we have crafty business, which will give us more resource processing parts, so we'll accept that one. Charlie Watchtower's a little bit advanced, um, and I think I'm gonna not take that one just yet. Um, I might be good enough for acquiring a rival base, but I think I'll actually stick to what I remember as being less. Eh, it's an XP of 450, so maybe I'll accept that one and I'll accept the supply drop. Um, but was that what I was hoping for was that one of these would be about harvesting? It's not, so maybe I'll just go I'll check out these missions. I'll check out these missions. And then once I get a harvesting mission, then um I'll probably move on to building a base. All right, so this one is a race to find the crate. That just dropped. That's a pack. Then I need to go fight. Oh no, that's actually the thing. Now the techs are probably no. You can see the big wheel has been sucked in by the parts magnet, so that's good. Now that I've got it all, I'll just head back to base or, the training base. Just want to get within range of the thing that sucks everything into an alternate universe. Okay, so now I can see on the radar map that there's some trouble brewing over that way. But let me just drop off these. All right, that's what I wanted to do. I've still got full battery. Um, I don't really want to do big yellow. I'm kind of afraid of it. Let's go see if Crafty Mike has something for us. I think that would be the next best call. Can see it coming up on the radar, and I don't see any baddies, so that's also good news. Sometimes these missions get interfered with by baddies, which is not entirely fun. Anyway, we got to pay attention here. All right. The base had another little accident. Yep. Maybe I could attach the receiver. Okay. Um, where? Oh, okay. So that's at the edge of a silo. So now we're looking at what happens with silos. So silos store things. Okay, they can indeed. Okay. Conveyor is at the end of the machine. He's going to tell us about something else. You can see my 1 tick of battery is wearing down here. All right, yes, trading stations are a ripoff. Please don't drop it on my head. Okay, next to my head is fine. All right, so this is a fabricator, nice. Please do, Mike. Okay, so I pick that up and I stick it over here. And you gotta match up this green part to the incoming parts. All right, we'll right click on the fabricator. Okay, yes. So we're gonna make GSO1 blocks, which are the 1 by 1 by 1s. Just one, because I didn't click the repeat checkbox. And then it will boop one of those out. Very do, Mike. Oh, I'm gonna make one more of these, then I'm gonna dismantle this, take it home so that I can to the trading station so that I can build where I want to in a place that I can defend. So I'm gonna tear this off and I'm gonna make it not anchored, so it's just floating. And I'm gonna do the same with this and with this. And then once I let go, the other things that are not um, uh, by themselves anchored gets held onto by my parts magnet. Then the things that are not held on because there's just too many, I attach to my structure of my tech. And the last one, which I can't really attach very well without unbalancing my tech, I'm just going to click and hold it, which is kind of a, I'm not going to say it's a cheat or a hack, but it's kind of a trick I learned out of necessity that I'm not entirely sure is intended in the game. Getting a little close to that one enemy, but I think I'll be okay. And you can see that it's nighttime, so my base is, or sorry, my turret is making light because I have those strips, those light strips on it, but nothing else is really putting any light out. The other thing to notice is that the training station has power to give me. So if I put like more solar panels out and made a sort of permanent base, it would only be able to share power with me. If I had a wireless power transmission thing, um, if it had power to spare, like it would need batteries essentially. But the trading station is self-contained and already has that kind of stuff. It doesn't need additional parts to provide me wireless power, which is good because I like wireless power. I like to be recharged. There's an enemy that's within 1 ring of us, so I assume my turret's gonna twig and start shooting at it, and I'm about to shoot at it too. I actually can't see it. Can you see it? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, I think I can see it. Let's go get it. Yeah. The yellow stuff is actually quite valuable that I just picked up from the ground. And I'll just suck up the few parts remaining after I blew it away. Do an orbit around the parts picker upper, and then I don't have a refinery set up, so I'm just gonna give these to the trading station, and it can send the rough ones up for 15. So I don't remember exactly, but if you refine those, you would probably get about twice as many. Um, bot bugs or whatever BB stands for. Um, yeah. All right. So let's see if we could take on the rival base. The nice thing about encountering more than one tech at a time is that they will often fight each other and sort of eliminate each other for you if you don't mess around too much and draw their aggro. So I'm gonna just check out the situation and see whether it's possible that they'll do some friendly fire to each other before I even have to start shooting. That's not always the case. Sometimes the AI are smart enough not to shoot at each other. Okay, there's a bunch of AI here. There's like three. Oh, and they're already shooting at me. And you can see that my batteries are almost down to zero. So I think I will maybe take this up another time. I think that's just too much for me right now. Yeah. So I'll wait until I have a stronger mech with better batteries and protection and support and more firepower and so on. Not Mac Tech, sorry. I keep getting that confused. The other thing is there's another base over here, and I wonder if I messed something up and left something behind. So I'm gonna go see if I can check that out. Though it seems like it's pretty far away, so that also may be a problem. Oh no, it's just another trading base. I wonder what I left there. You know what? I'll go there because if it's a trading base, then it will power me, which is kind of the other side of the coin that I want dealt with. So if I go over there, I can get a recharge. Ooh, beep, beep. Oh yeah, this is the turret that I decided to leave behind, I think. And it seems to be doing pretty well, although, oh hell, oop, a lot of the stuff is getting sucked in without my help, which is good. All right, you know what? I think I'm going to dismantle this um, turret since it will now be sucked into the black orb. I can't remember the name of the thing. Um, and uh, then I can rebuild it where I want to, essentially. I think because there's an AI block on here, I think I'm just going to do that. Oop, I failed to hold that down. There we go. There was an AI block, so it kept trying to rebuild itself, which was not exactly what I wanted. Okay, so I'm recharged. I took that blue thing down, so now I'm going to go back to the other blue thing, which is, as far as I know, the only base that I have. And I should have enough parts to build some reasonable base. Actually get in this fight here. You can see these parts, a lot of them got damaged. And I'm actually going to save the gun bits. I'm not as concerned about the wheel. No, let's try to save what we can. And that'll be fine. Alright, I'm almost home anyway. Alright, and the missions have been restocked, as have the things you can buy from the training stations. I don't really care so much about the things I can buy, but the missions I do care about and I'm interested in. I'm going to try to just blast past this enemy. I don't want to get in a firefight because my guns could do damage to the things that my parts magnet is holding on to. And I want to preserve the things that my part magnet is holding on to if I can. Uh, that, that, and this looks pretty good. Oh, that's right. There's this piece too. Something. Good. All right. So I'm fully unloaded. Um, I brought home a bunch of parts. Oh, and I forgot this drill is sticking out of the behind me too. I am not paying good attention. Okay, take that off too. Okay, so now I'm looking pretty good. Now is probably a good time to build a base. So the thing that I need to keep track of with the base is that this, uh, the black, the black orb thing has a sort of a line of sight property to it, and that if I have, and that's actually why the store's delivery chute points away from the black orb, because sort of behind its viewpoint, it won't pick things up. So, like, if there's spare parts over here behind the trading station from the Black Orb's perspective, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to suck those in unless you pick them up and move them around to its arc of being able to do stuff. The reason that matters is that, and we haven't encountered this yet, this is sort of spoilery, but I'm going to say it just so that you can understand where I'm coming from. Um, there are refinery stations or fabricators or shredders or various things that you can build into your resource gathering and refining setup that would otherwise get sucked into the black orb. So if you're going to build a base where you're going to potentially be processing junk parts for their um, essential resources, for instance, which is what a shredder does, then you want to have the part that the part of your base that processes the junk parts not be in line of sight of the black orb, or it will take priority and suck those out of your base. So it's good to consider building your base somewhere behind the black orb, which is why I started this turret here. The problem is I have to build around it if I'm going to build like a large base, but that's fine. So I'm going to start building my base here, I think, sort of in front of the chute and um, near the turret, but also in the blind spot of the black orb. All right, so I'm just going to rely on what I have in my inventory, and you can see that over the past uh, hour and 20 minutes or so, I've actually accumulated quite a lot of stuff. Um, it, not sure where my, oh, here we go. You gotta scroll down. Toy. Uh, so these are the machines that I have, the sort of fabricator class machines. I have one delivery cannon, one fabricator, and one refinery. So, and I also have a silo, and I only have 5 conveyors, which is probably not enough. Um, I also don't have a solar. I only have the one that's sitting on top of my turret. Um, I'm actually gonna check the prices here on the store for like what are they selling. So they're selling a solar for, I think that might actually be worth it. And then the batteries are 660, and they've got one shield and one repair bubble projector, which are also things that I sort of consider essential for base. And yeah, I only have a shield in my own inventory and one battery. Oh, but I got 3 solars. Okay, so it seems a little bit low powered. So I think what I'll do instead of building a base just yet is I'll build another turret to help me when enemies get too close, like they're doing right now. And I think I plan to have three turrets, one back here with the base, and two sort of near the limits of the black orb's line of sight. So like here. Yeah. All right, let's do that. So for that, um, one good thing to know is that the anchored AR AI module has an anchor, right? So this guy already can stick into the ground by itself and spin around on it, which is what I think the other one is doing too. So I'll put that approximately where I want it. I want to give myself some room to be able to get into the area of the trading station, so I'm going to put it about here. And then, so this guy's already rotating around as if it could do anything. I'm going to set it to idle so it's less likely to move around while I build on it. Um, so I'm going to build up a little bit. Yep, see, we're shooting. So I think I'll stop building and see just what the heck's going on here. Let's see if I can help out. Yeah. Ooh, I got some stuff stuck under the tire. So this is just, I'm just harvesting parts, which I may have a use for later. Or if I don't, I can recycle them or and sell their subcomponents for additional stuff or whatever. Um, so on top of here, I'm going to put a shield and a repair bubble and a battery, I think. So I only have a shield, so I'll put that down. And then I want a repair bubble, so I'll see if I can buy that at the shop. See, it's outrageously expensive, but I think it's worth it, so let's do it. My magnet got it. I'm not going to drive within the range of the black orb because I don't want it sucked in. And this is the shop, so I want to switch back to my stock so I can get my battery. And see, as soon as I place it, the trading station is using its wireless to power it. So that's great news. That's exactly what I wanted. And then I'll build one more up. This is all very arbitrary. If I had a system, that would probably help me. But basically, I'm trying to keep most of the components of the turret inside the protection of the shield and the repair bubble. And then I'll top it off with the solar so that in case it's not getting wireless power for some reason, it may be able to power itself. Okay, so that's the core, and none of this stuff is offensive. So for offensiveness, I need to figure out where the front of the AI module is, which is here where the red lens is. And then I want to probably, I'll put these two cannon here. And then I can put side cannon here and here. I try to keep it symmetrical, but I probably don't need to. And then, okay, and then the other cannon are these narrow gauge coil lasers, which I'm going to put up here. I don't really have enough parts right now to standardize, which is unfortunate, but just that's the way it is. All right, so now I have the shield, the repair bubble, one battery, a solar generator, a bunch of guns. And so now if I have parts to use to make it a little more robust, I will use those. So I'll use like this plow and I'll stick it on here and on the back as well. In fact, I'll do plows all the way down the back just to try to increase the defense of the parts. And let's go a little bit Mad Max here and stick some stuff on the front. And we can do the sides. We have a bunch of these drills, and they're just, for turret purposes, they're really just there to soak up damage and fall off in case anything gets through the shields. So now I have everything, every anchor point has something on it. There are no anchor points on the sides of these projectors, which are actually normally the top and the bottom. So I can't attach anything there, but that's okay. I think that their own shielding and repair properties will help. So this is a fairly major turret. It's stronger than the one that's back here. And I may have to revise the one back here at some other point, but I don't really have a lot to do. I can add some coil lasers if it's got spots. So let's do that. Oh, and I need to right click and set this to guard. So it will start actively doing stuff. And since I'm going to work on this one, I'm actually going to right click, hold, and set it to idle. And then now I'm going to add those coil lasers, I think, here and here. And I have a pair for that one. And what else? There's only the back. I guess I could, let's put one of these here. Just as a sort of a stopgap. It's ugly, but it's gonna soak a little bit of damage. Okay. Um, so that's a little stronger, and that's good too. Um, we're at a half an hour, so we've got another half an hour to play. Um, I guess I could see. I don't have another battery to store any power in, so there's no real point in putting a solar generator down. I think I'll just wait. Um, I'm not sure if a radar will do this any good, but I'll stick one on here anyway. And then I gotta remember to put this on guard as well. And I'm not sure this one, yeah, it is rotating. So the question is, yes, okay, so when they're actively rotating, that means they'll actually respond to threats. Let's look at the crafty business 3. Yeah, we can take crafty business 3. These are all XP 450, so I'll take them. Still no harvesting. I wonder if I need to, I think I probably need to set up a primitive harvesting base before I get harvesting missions, but um, we'll wait until next time, actually. Fire rival base. That was the one that I sort of ran away from before. It was, yeah. Well, let's see about Crafty Mike. We got full shields. Our weapons are looking okay. There's a lot of enemies. Maybe I'll just take apart some enemies first. Ooh, that guy's serious. So we're trying to stay a little bit out of range. My turrets are actually wanting to help out here. There we go. Lost a fair amount of battery that time. I'll just head right back, get recharged, and then go back out if I can. I think the other question is, what is this cluster here? Is that gangland? It is gangland. Okay. Dispose of the tech gang. Yeah, let's actually see if we can take that one first. And there's more parts left over from my last battle, which I think I may take the time to clean up and take back to the base. Yeah, I think I will. Both because I don't want anything distracting me, and also because eventually they'll be worth something, or I can use them as armor on a turret. um, yeah, see, this one appears to be shooting at someone behind it, and it fell over too, so its stability is not great. In fact, it looks like it went and destroyed somebody over here. There's plenty of parts which I can just sort of, ooh, I would, except now this one's coming for me. So bringing it back to the base where I have turrets that will help is a perfect thing. And definitely, see, that one got blown up in front of the black orb, and the black orb is actually taking care of picking up most of those parts. And I'll just click and drag a few that are slightly out of the way so that they're in range. All right. So the other thing that happened, I don't know if you noticed, but a crate came down and it dropped this, which is the portable version of the black orb. I'm just going to attach it to the tech for now. And it also dropped a big resource pad, which also I'm just going to attach to the mech because I want to, on this tour, I want to go out and pick up some of these parts and try to get out of here so I don't have to shoot at that guy and potentially destroy stuff. Oh my God. All right, I'm just going to bring that. I think there may be a part stuck in front of me. I feel like something's stuck under the wheels. Yep, there was something. So the one can suck the other one in since I didn't anchor it. Um, those will be very valuable later as I build my base. This is stuck in my wheels. Another wheel is stuck in my wheels. All right. Go back out. See if there's more stuff to get over here. I think there should be. This one here is bothersome. Looks like the AI might be broken. And it's run into a tree, much to my delight. I can just drill into it and kill that or control. There we go. I'm actually thinking about rebuilding my tech because I got that big old block magnet, which makes me want to uh, build a tech around it that can um, handle that big parts magnet that will help me harvest more parts. So I think I'm actually going to head back and see what the potential is for building a larger tech. I don't know if I have the right wheels for it yet, but just, I don't know. I think I may be getting too greedy. But you know how other games have these sort of grinding modes where you have to go out and do various tasks in order to progress. The grinding mode for TerraTech is primarily uh, going out to gather parts from other techs you've blown up so that you can take them back to the orb. But now that I think of it, the other thing that I can do and should be doing is taking from my inventory the portable orb that I just brought back. And if I do that, I can actually place it and another sort of loophole, I think, is that they don't need to be powered. I can just take it to a place where there is a bunch of stuff that I want to pick up, put it down, get it anchored, let it power up, which, like I said, is self-contained. And then it will suck in all the parts that are around it. So let me see if I can do that next with another mech that I blow up. Um, I will take this back. Okay, so let's find another tech. For this hill. What's gonna big old can? Okay, so now if I get here it is, the GSO anchored SCU storage device. Boop. You can see it powers itself up. It turns into a black orb and it starts sucking in the parts. Not a great demonstration because there weren't that many parts, but enough. And then when I want to banish it back to my inventory, I right click it and I hold on to send blocks to inventory and unright click and there it goes. So I don't even need to go back to the base, at least for that. I still do if I want to harvest stuff and bring it back to the base to sell, but I don't need to go back to the base. I also need to go back to the base to get um, power. I don't need it to put parts in the general inventory. That's good. Oh, just causing a huge amount of mayhem. Click, click. Okay. All right, what am I doing? Crafting mic is that I'm still going to go to crafting mic. Maybe I'm going to run away. It's possible that I may run away. I think I will run away. Indeed. Oh yeah, I don't like people shooting at me. That's a no-fly zone. Come, my pretties. Do my shooting for me. This guy's drilled into my turret defenses, which I do not appreciate. It looks like he hasn't really shot any parts off, which is good. The real question is whether the trading station will be able to power it enough for the repair bubble to do its work. And I think that part of what I will do is go up here and prepare it for it. It looks like it's actually managing okay. That was fun. Let's try to go to Crafty Mike again after nearly getting our butts shot off. Be nicer if Crafty Mike would get close to where I am already set up, but I guess the whole point is to make me run around a little bit. Okay. Am I in luck? Ooh, there's a lot of nice stuff here though, isn't there? Okay. Filter. Nice. Please don't drop it on my head. You are going to... You missed. Okay. Indeed it is. Okay. So where do we want me to put it? There. Oop. I didn't place it properly. Let's try it again because it fell right off. There. We did power up the base, didn't it? Look at that. Okay. Put the... Yep. All right. Filter, go to work on assorted resources. Yes. So it skips on the non-burnables or the non-wood. Right click over the filter. Oop. Filter groups. Filter fuel chunks only. Nice. Am I? The thing that I don't enjoy about you, Crafty Mike, is that you set up kind of far away from my base. That's what I don't like. All right, see you later, Mike. Um, okay, so now I'm going to right click and send blocks to inventory, all of them. Yep. And so the only thing that I didn't get out of that is the one Titanite, which I'm just going to leave. So I'm going to go back to my base, which is the blue thing on the edge of the radar. I'm going to try to avoid trouble because I'm carrying a little bit of cargo. But maybe I get sick of that and I decide to go. That's fine. I can go for it. a bad thing. Carrying resources, I just don't like to because I tend to lose them. Okay, and more charging. Delivery crate up for grabs. I don't know. Is the mission log still empty? No, not really. There's a bunch of stuff here. Still relatively my difficulty level. I think I'm gonna look more into going backwards. Um, two things. Building the base I was talking about and potentially building the last turret. What have we got? We could buy another AI module. It would be a significant portion of our cash, so maybe wait. Um, we do have a bunch of batteries, so it actually, though we don't have a repair bubble, it might actually be worth it to start building a small resource processing base. We also don't have a shredder, which I suspect Crafty Mike will give us. We do have more conveyors, so that's good. We have 13 instead of 5. Almost feel like it would be better to consider rebuilding my tech. I don't know. This is a very tidy setup that I have. Um, but I do have quite a few. Yeah, it does feel almost like it would be worth it. I could use the bumper wheel and the riser wheels to make it a little taller. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so the first thing I will do is I will tear my controller out, which blows up the whole rest of the Mac, or tech, pardon me. I did it right in front of the black SCU um, orb so that everything would get sucked into my inventory so that I could use it again when I build. Um, so I'm basically down to the control block, which is actually more self-sufficient than you might think. It actually has 2 guns and tiny wheels. And as you unlock more uh, companies, categories, you get more options as far as cabs go. But for now, this is what we have. Yeah, so let's see what we got. Okay, so I want to build like a 3x3 around the cab. So I'll do that with this, that, and then I have a bunch of singles, don't I? Okay, and then I need to find out, so I'm going to actually start the building mode so that I have some vertical distance, and I'm going to find out how big these, oh, they're huge. Look at that thing. All right, that suggests that I probably want another, let's do 3x5 on this platform just to make it bigger, because otherwise the platform looks stubby compared to, and I accidentally dropped something, but it's getting sucked right back in, so I'm not going to worry about it. So if I do that on one side, I should do it on the other side symmetrically, right? And then the other thing I want to do is find out if this roller wheel is of similar height. It looks like it is. Maybe not. Oh, it looks like it's pretty close. I'm gonna put one on the other side and then I'm gonna place it down so I can see facing the wrong way. There we go. what is the ride like? So I'm gonna stop and press B, stop hovering. And that is not bad. It's probably gonna get a little icky, but that's not bad. So I'll put another one of these riser wheels here. I also suspect that it's still a little small. Like I should do like 3 by 7. I think I'll actually do that. Let's do that. And we'll move the big wheels back to. I only have one left of those riser wheels, so I'll probably, yeah, so it's a little high, but it just feels like it's better from the point of view of avoiding getting things stuck in my grill and dragging it around, right? Um, I have 5 of these thimble collectors, and I think I'll actually replace these blocks with those. So that lets me carry 15 blocks instead of 5. And then the other question I had, so this is going to throw it all out of whack, right? I have a big magnet. Where's the small one? Did I lose the small one somehow? I feel like I lost the small one. Weird. I lose track of it, and now I can't figure out because I used to have a smaller one. Or was it a bigger one that I lost? Block magnet mini. That's the one that I already had. What happened to the bigger one? I don't see it around. I feel like I may have just lost it. That's a shame. Oh well, I'll get another one later. So I'll just put this back in the center. Maybe there. And then I'll put the radar a couple blocks behind. And then I'll do a rank of batteries. Um, Actually, I'll move this forward one. And I'll put this actually here. Because what I'm trying to do is make room for the best configuration of the repair on the shield bubbles. So let's actually do it this way. And then 2 more, maybe here and in front. Looking okay. Okay, things are looking pretty good. Um, I feel like I don't have enough firepower, and I think that that will be borne out by. I will do this. I don't have anything in the front. Like I don't have these. I don't have these things, right? I could steal it from my turrets, but I don't think I will. Um, the the 3-pound cannons are much more powerful than the coil lasers. This is why I wish to put them somehow I managed to put one on the bottom, which is one of the perils of not building in build mode. Um, these batteries here still don't have anything stuck to the bottom. That's a good thing. Um, put lights behind the guns. Got 6. Let's try do this. And like before, I'm actually gonna put these as sort of rear bumpers, just in case something gets close. Um, I feel like this. I'm not entirely sold on this design, to be honest, but I think it'll probably be okay. I have radar, shield, batteries, a block magnet, some guns. I need some more guns, but I think I'll put them on the back. Be sort of a backwards heavy firepower situation. I don't know. That's not terrible. I think I need go up one more level. For both sides. Yeah, let's do both sides that way. We'll do backwards. And forwards. And forwards. I'm just looking at line of sight here. Oop. And I like to build symmetrically, so I'm actually going to remove that one. And I'm going to there, here. You get used to sort of focusing your line of sight where you want to see and sort of building around things that would otherwise occlude your vision. It's not the best, but handling 3D on a 2D screen is just difficult anyway. This looks silly, to be honest. Um, it just looks silly. And I think that these are too much because they're gonna end up destroying resources that I'm carrying. The back-facing ones on the sides are fine, I think, but the ones in the back firing over where the thimble collectors are is not going to help me. Um, I sort of want to post-apocalypse it up, but I don't really have the weapons that I need for that, like the side firing turrets and so on. Um, should I take it out for a spin? I think I should just before I stop. Yeah, that's silly looking, but you know, silly's not bad. Let's get it charged up here. We'll go out and get this one here that's in front of us somewhere. I don't see any mayhem ahead of us, so it must be just sort of idling. and go. Woo, stuff is happening. And I just sort of went forward much faster than I expected to. So that's the good news is that, um, oh, and that's the bad news. Look at that. There's stuff getting trapped under my wheels a lot. Um, the good news is that my maneuverability is high. The bad news is my chassis is so high that stuff is getting sucked under me when I pick it up. But the good news is that it looks like I can escalator it under me and then uh, pick it up when it comes back around. I don't know. That's very confusing, isn't it? But I guess it's okay. What I should probably do is put something in the front that scoops stuff up. Ooh, that thing just blew up right next to me. I didn't even know that was happening. This is the time for a portable SCU. Anyway, I think my design could use a little help. Like maybe this plow? I don't know. I think I need to experiment. Things get stuck in between other things. Yeah. All right. So let me take the stuff that I attached to myself earlier. The design is okay. It's a little wobbly. I feel the loss of the bigger magnet block that I somehow lost track of or left behind somewhere. If I find it, I'll suck it into my inventory so I can use that. But it has just a greater ability to stick to parts that I'm picking up and scavenging. Um, Here we are at the end of another hour. There's plenty to do, but we built another AI tower around this trading station. We're sort of working through missions to make more cash and planning to build a permanent resource harvesting base approximately where my tech is. Um, and see where we go from there. Uh, there's plenty left to do in the game. I'm only just running through the GSO missions, which is this uh, red, yellow, and black logo with a star on it. And then if you look at your inventory, you can see there's also GeoCorp, Venture, Hawkeye, Better Future, and Reticule Research. I'm not sure. I think the research may actually be part of the R&D labs, and I don't know if there are any missions, but I believe that there are missions for the others. I know there are for GeoCorp and Venture, so there probably are for Hawkeye and Better Future, and we can just keep on exploring and building up. One thing that hasn't happened yet, because I've been super careful in the streaming episodes, is getting blown up. If you get blown up, the game tries to recreate what you had in a tech at your nearest base, um, with parts that you already have, or with cash if you have enough to cover it. And if you don't, it will go back to the basic cab, put you somewhat near, I think, your base. I can't remember actually, it's been a while. And then you have to rebuild with what you have. So you usually get a different tech entirely. But um, it's just the way the game works, and it's not a terrible thing to have happen. It does kind of suck if you're in the middle of some great plan, um, but it's not. terrible, it's not something that you can't come back from. So it's good to know that even if you get total destruction and you get in a fight that you can't win and you can't escape, that your game is not over. It's just you have to go back and rebuild to get to the point where you were before. So that's it. Again, I noticed that I've completely screwed up the title of my stream, so now I need to go fix that. But I hope that um, you have a lovely week. It's Monday. It's a great time to get everything ready to go and go seize the day. And I hope that in the meantime, you are also able to take care of yourself and take care of your pets and take care of your family and let them take care of you and have a nap if you have time. I used to hate naps, but ever since I got leukemia and started recuperating from the stem cell transplant, naps have been amazing. And I hope that you can have a nap and then it can be amazing for you too. All right, well, I will see you again. Take good care of yourself and have a good one.